Hey, what's up, guys? Today we got Boruto episode 88 review, and yes, it's finally off the hiatus after 2 weeks. So we're finally back on track, and a lot of stuff has gone down. So let's start off with the beginning. We get to see that Anoki basically finds out that everything the Iwagakure is basically it was gone into turmoil, in which he confronts Lord Ku, and Lord Ku is basically telling him that the situation has changed and all that, since that Ku is basically taking his own drive and has put everyone at hostage, which he's not supposed to do, and he's trying to take their hearts out, which he's also not supposed to do, in which Anoki is trying to tell him that you're not supposed to be doing this stuff, which everything is collapsing on Anoki. What he intended is definitely not happening. When with that happening, Ku basically turned on Anoki because he was, he's basically saying that, I forgot he was saying, like he's not in his right state of mind. He's basically calling Anoki delusional by, because Ku is going on his own will, in which, like I say, he's trying to maintain peace in the world. And even Boruto even commented on that, like, aren't your synthetic creations supposed to be maintaining peace, not causing turmoil? In which Anoki is definitely feeling the heat underneath his butt. Like, this man is definitely he's really starting to feel it now. It's probably running through his head that these synthetic creations are not supposed to be around, like his daughter said, because they're not very stable. But he didn't want to listen to her. He wanted to go do his own thing, and look at it now. Now he caused Iwagakure to go into just straight up turmoil. Now the synthetic creations are having their own mind and all that, in which even Kakuyou, he was basically, I think he was confronted by, I think, Boruto and them, in which Kakuyou said, like, we don't have a heart and all that, or a will, which is actually a butt-faced lie. Because, later on in the episode, we see that Kakuyou actually had a heart because, that mind transfer jutsu took over him, so that technically means he has some sort of heart, within him. Not like a physical heart, but I'm talking about like soul, some sort that you could take over. But anyways, a lot of stuff has just gone south for, Anoki. In which, after Anoki was trying to confront him about that, that's when Anoki was trying to correct him about all that stuff. That's when Ku just straight up knocked him out. All this stuff has gone down south for Anoki, and it's not going the way he was supposed to. And with all this, like, he was trying to confront him about, Ku about that. And that's when Ku basically knocked him out. And that's when, Ku was trying to get rid of Boruto in the game because they knew way too much information. And that's when Shikadai came in and saved the day and threw that, kunai with a paper bomb on it. So that's a great thing that he came in clutch because, the Akna was about to kill him. So that's a great thing. And of course, that's when they met up with, Shikadai, and, that's when Boruto in the game went to go after Kirara. And that's when Kirara put him inside that genjutsu that basically, I'm guessing it just controls you like a puppet. So, with my theory on that one, what her dojutsu does, it basically is like a Sharingan where it sends chakra to your chakra points, disrupts it, and then she's able to, manipulate it, of course, with her using her hands. So she basically uses your body like a puppet. So I'm thinking to myself, like, with each finger controlling it is probably like a limb or something that, basically, her, with each finger movement, it controls the body. So it disrupted their chakra, but they're still aware. I'm pretty sure with her dojutsu probably has different tiers of, genjutsu inside of it. Like, she probably just used the basic genjutsu where they're still aware, but she can control their bodies at will. She probably has a tier 2 other jutsu where it controls the mind and body at will, because you know, we see that she can control them at a puppet at will. But it looks like she probably has to be within a certain distance before it disconnects, or at least her to be aware enough for them to be controlled, because when we saw her get, you know, sick and all that, where she was basically dying, she had to go into that, I don't know what you would call it, test tube thing? I don't really know what you call it. The guards basically, The guards basically came out of the genjutsu after she was, you know, unconscious. In order for it to be active, it looks like she has to be awake in order to do that. So that's just my thoughts on that. Alright, so the next part, we get to see that, you know, the Ino-Shika-Cho is basically battling against Kakuyou, in which Kakuyou, of course, brings them underground after, I think he forgot what happens. I think Kakuyou slaps Shikadai, I kind of forgot. But anyways, yeah, they're basically underground, and you know, Shikadai is rendered useless with that his shadow paralysis that you can usually do, because he was inside complete darkness, which I kind of forgot how the shadow paralysis worked until I watched this episode. I was like, dang, I haven't seen this inside a long time. I forgot you had to have some sort of shadow. You cannot be inside complete darkness. You can't cast a shadow because everywhere is dark, so there's really no point. And with the Ino-Shika-Cho formation, they were definitely getting, you know, their butts kicked. Because even Shikadai stated that, you know, they're definitely outsped by Kakuyou. Kakuyou has some sort of, I don't know what you would call it. Kakuyou has some sort of body flicker, I guess, or something like that. The man can just straight up dash at you. It looks like he has like high speed movement. I guess I forgot what it's called. Something similar to, you know, Rock Lee and them. He has some sort of really good taijutsu movement speed that basically boosts him. Yeah, so they were definitely outsped by that, and you know, they had to play strategic. And that's when, you know, Shikadai, he definitely played it strategic with, you know, Inojin and Cho-Cho. He basically told him to, you know, run away because he was sacrificing himself. Which he actually wasn't sacrificing himself, he was actually trapping him. That's when Kakuyou, you know, broke all the lights because he thought, you know, Shikadai was all by himself. Inojin actually had the birds over the light, which was actually really smart. And, you know, he put him to shadow paralysis when he thought he put his guards down on, when Kakuyou was coming after him, which is actually a really smart thing. He put shadow paralysis on him, and that's when Cho-Cho punched the crap out of him. You know, that was actually really strategic right there. Like, that kind of reminded me of Team 7 Days, so that was actually really freaking smart. But in my opinion, I think, you know, Shikamaru and all of them, I think they have a little bit more intellect, in my opinion. But anyways, you know, they were fighting and all that, and when he put him in shadow paralysis, he thought he was gonna get him. He was trying to break out of that, and that's when he, you know, he did that, Inojin basically did that mind transfer jutsu that, you know, Ino did back then, which it didn't really work out that well, as we saw. He definitely needs to work on that jutsu, because it's actually kind of poor. I can definitely see he doesn't really train all that hard. But anyways, it basically fell when Cho-Cho tried to, you know, smash into him. Of course, when, you know, Inojin was trying to spam his mind transfer jutsu, that's when Akkun, he came out, because we saw early in the episode, Akkun remembered that, you know, Kirara put Inojin inside a genjutsu, and that's when he was trying to, you know, help out, which he did technically help out, and, you know, he did distract Kakuyou for a good amount of time. Akkun took pretty fatal damage. We later on saw Akkun die, but, you know, they finally got the job done by, you know, I think Cho-Cho smashed him to the wall, and that's when, you know, like I said earlier, that's when Shikadai confronted him about having a heart, Kakuyou actually does have a heart because a mind transfer jutsu requires that. So he definitely has some sort of heart. He's basically telling that his strength may not be physically good, but protecting his friends and putting himself at risk is actually his strength, which is actually a very good fundamental. But later on we get to see that Akkun was dying and all that. That was probably the most emotional moment of the whole entire episode. I didn't really get extremely sad because I knew Akkun was gonna die at some point. Like, he has to be written off somehow, but I think Akkun was written off in a good way, to end off this arc, because this arc is about to end really soon. So after that, we get to see Kakuyou. He basically KOs. I don't know if Kakuyou is dead though, but we did see his skin cracking, so I guess we can assume that Kakuyou is dead. Just like Kakuyou did. Kakuyou basically, you saw his skin cracking, and that indicated that he was dead because his skin fell off. So I'm guessing Kakuyou is dead as well as Kakuyou. So it switches back to Kirara with Boruto and Sadara, and with Boruto and Sadara and them, she's just controlling like a straight up puppet. So this next episode is actually be kind of interesting. I wonder what's gonna happen, inside this next episode. Is anyone gonna intervene? Like, is Shikadai gonna intervene again or something like that to try and fight Kirara? And I wonder what's gonna happen. Alright, so I almost forgot this one. It's pretty much, Sakai and Mitsuki, they were interacting with each other. And, Sakai was, thanking him, for doing all this research, which that mad scientist, basically Uncle Ruckus looking dude, he's basically about to, take out the hearts and, try to go save them. Which I'm pretty sure, because we also get to see that, Konohamaru is trying to, find out what the heck is happening. He came up in there, he pretty much was about to go see, what's happening, and that's when he ran across, Mitsuki, because he saw that snake. And Mitsuki's not looking too happy, he's looking straight at Konohamaru, he's like, I don't even think they even say anything to each other. So we're gonna see what the heck's gonna happen inside this next episode. Alright, so that's pretty much all I had to talk about today. I might do an ending 8 reaction, but the last time I did that, it got, copyright claimed and blocked inside certain countries. Of course, I don't have my videos monetized at the moment, but, still, it got copyright claimed and blocked. I'm glad I did not get copyright striked, but, by the result of that, all that copyright claim stuff happened, I'm thinking about not doing a reaction to it pretty much at all. I might skip this one because, all that sketch stuff with YouTube just keeps on happening and I don't enjoy that. But, you probably could expect it. No promises though. But yeah, that's pretty much all to talk about today. If you guys are new, make sure you guys subscribe, like this video, support your boy. But anyways, it's been your boy, Dude Balboa. I'm out.